From catching a hit-and-run driver to smoother insurance claim processing, there's plenty of reason to get a dash cam for your car. Blackview, our show sponsor, makes the most advanced dash cams on the market. Their latest model, the DR900X-2CH, records your drive in 4K UHD with a wide 162-degree angle of view so you don't miss anything, even when you're parked. Thanks to the DR900X 2 channels native parking mode, you can even zoom in on a license plate. You can easily download the video to your phone, and their free cloud service allows you to check your car in real time with remote live view. If anyone bumps your car, you're going to know about it. You can even download footage remotely. Visit blackview.com/Chael. Use the promo code Chael. You're going to receive 10% off your first purchase, as well as free shipping on anything over $200. Click on the link in the description below. Jennifer Maia and the Bullet. A little bit of a surprise. It was a competitive match. Now, I feel as though if you didn't watch this fight and you're hearing it from other people, or hearing things about how close this was and what danger the Bullet was, I feel as though if you're watching the pay-per-view, you're led to the conclusion that this was a very competitive contest and what danger the Bullet was in. Guys, that's fiction. This was a very one-way match. This was supposed to be an even more one-way match. Jennifer Maia's stock went up. She was very competitive. She had a good game plan, and she had no quit in her. She was willing to take this thing wherever it was going to go for as long as it was going to go. I want to give her that praise because she stood up in her one chance to go capture glory, everything she ever wanted, and she seized that moment. She was not as good of a fighter as the Bullet. There was at no point in the fight where the Bullet was in danger. There was no one point in that fight where you would have what's called the hope spot, where if you're hoping that Maia wins, all of a sudden this spot comes along and go, oh my gosh, this might be it. This is what dreams are made of. Tyson versus Douglas, we're on the verge of it. No, but the commentators might have led you to believe that a couple of times. I think they were so surprised with what they were seeing, which was just something short of absolute dominance by the Bullet. But when that's the expectation that you have going in there, I don't really blame them for being surprised. But over the course of 25 minutes, I don't think if they knew what they knew right now and could go back and call that fight, they would make it sound as though this was tit for tat. It wasn't. One of the surprising parts of the fight is early on, the Bullet got on top. Well, Maia is supposed to be this famed and scary Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. And the Bullet wasn't doing the defensive posturing perfectly. She wasn't posting and looking to get distance. She was staying and maintaining that position. Now, that's the commentator's opinion. The truth is, if you bring your head down, you bring your hands inside, what some kids will call the Home Alone position. You guys remember Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin? He goes and puts the aftershave on, and he goes, ah, and he freezes, but his hands stay right there. Jiu-Jitsu will actually use that term. They'll call it the Home Alone position, because then when you bring your hands down, you can come right to the bicep. Nobody has the ability to get in. I'm sharing that basicness of what we saw here, because yes, Maia should have been able to do something. The mere fact that Maia could not do anything, even though the Bullet was offering a 101 day one paraphrased from a Christmas movie in the 90s level defense, really speaks more to the Bullet. It really does. It really speaks more to the fact that the Bullet just wasn't in danger. She just knew where she was. She was comfortable. She was being patient. If you look at stalling out of position as the way that you're going to describe that stanza, but you juxtapose that with the definition of being patient in a precarious position, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I think there was so much shock and awe and surprise of how little the Bullet was doing, which presumably was going to put Maia into a favorable position. That position never came. The Bullet knew right where she was. There was other moments in the fight where Maia got underhooks, pushed the Bullet up against the fence, and the Bullet looked as though she was lost. One of the first pieces we ever saw of kryptonite towards Chris Cyborg was when Chris was fighting Holly Holm. Holly got underhooks and pushed Chris all across the octagon, got into the fence, and kept her there. Chris didn't know how to stop. She didn't know how to pummel, cut an angle. She didn't know what to do. And then even when she hit the fence, she didn't know what to do. And Holly went back to it 2 or 3 times, realizing even though this isn't offensively great for me and I'm not scoring damage or favor within the judges, I'm also in a fight where I need to reserve energy. I don't really know what else to do. And this is working because you, my opponent, has no answer for it. We've never seen the Bullet have anything like that. We've just never seen the Bullet have anything other than absolute dominance and perfection. Many are saying that she even lost one round. Don't forget going into this fight, guys, there was a few victories that Maia could have. Moral victories. Moral victories much more likely than winning the contest, but moral victory number one, make it 25 minutes. If you're the challenger and you're this big of an underdog, 1,100, -700 within the last 48 hours, if you can go the distance, you on some level have shown an ability to compete and endure and show that you're the right person to be out there. A little bit of a moral victory. If you can win a round, very big moral victory. Very big. I heard the scores quickly. The scores are already in. I believe one judge gave one round to Maia, so that it's not as though this was all for naught. I am very much enjoyed the match. I will very much make sure I stop what I am doing and pay attention to Maia. Her stock went up. But if there is any part of you that was influenced by the three talking heads cage side that couldn't quit oohing on ahhing over Jennifer Maia as she pursued to get beat for 22 of 25 minutes, I would just offer for you, you should not be overly influenced by that. This is not a match that they are going to run back immediately because of the excitement and or any controversy of which did not exist. It was another good and dominant win. Equally as good, perhaps less dominant. But how much pressure do you really think one athlete deserves? Bullet is still the world champion.